dynamic web table. So I've created a class called dynamic web table handle here, and if we talk about this is the dynamic web table that we have. Okay, so we have two approaches here. So first is this is the lengthy approach. So what we do is iterate row and column and get the cell value, and then using for loop get the total rows and iterated table, and put if string matches, then select the value, and then we match that and then we click it. Okay, this is the first way to do it. Second way is using the custom XPath. So this is quite efficient way of doing it, because in this way using parent and preceding sibling tags, so in this we don't need to write any for loop or something. We just will find the particular element and then fetch that particular element using parent sibling concept. Okay, so in this is quite fast because you don't need any for loop or anything, and this is more dynamic also. So it's a single line statement. Since you don't need to loop the whole table, for example if this table becomes 500 rows, so it would be very difficult, very time consuming, and it would take a lot of CPU power also. So hence this is good that so here we are trying to fetch this particular, we want to click this particular element over here. Okay, so that is it. And yeah, apart from this I also want to cover this concept called it's a very popular interview question, 7 principles of software testing. First is testing shows presence of defects. Okay, second is exhaustive testing is not possible. Third is early testing. Fourth is defect clustering. Fifth is pesticide paradox. Sixth is testing is context dependent. Fourth is absence of error, it's a fallacy. The description of it is given in this, so I'll post this link in the description, you can read it. Now coming back to this, we already discussed about it. So our first approach would be, we would first fetch this. Okay, so if we try to fetch this particular element, let's find the XPath of this, copy XPath. So when we copy XPath of this, we find that we see here TR represents row and TD represents column. So the column that we are on is second, this is first, this is second. Okay, so and if I find the next value, next, what is it, copy XPath. So this was TR6, right? So this is what, TR7. we see everything is same, so this is different. So we have to somehow find the way to go here. So how do we do it? So we put, what we'll do is, this part of the request we will capture XPath, and this also we will capture, and this we will loop until the text is equal to this index. Okay, I'll show you here. So this is the code that we have written, this we want to get. Okay, this is the example, TR6, TR5, TR7. So these are different. So this part of the XPath will be captured in the before XPath. I'll show you. Okay, so this is before XPath. Before XPath is this one. Okay, this part till the bracket is the before XPath, and after XPath is this. Okay, so we have put here before XPath and after XPath. Now we iterate it, for loop we will use, and then we will iterate it 1 2 3 4 from 1 to 7, because we know this is a list. Okay, so 1 to 7 we will iterate, and then we will add this XPath driver dot find element. Okay, so we will store this in a value. So when, if the name of name we are capturing in this, okay, name of the string would be this. So we're creating a string XPath, and before XPath plus I plus after XPath. So it will be like 1, 2, 3, right? These indexes will change, and we will put a if statement here, that if name, okay, this name get text, we're getting that element, the name is equal to driver dot find element by dot XPath we are passing here, okay, this XPath. So dot get text, so we're getting the text of that particular element. So when it equals the Braille Williamson, what will happen is it would click it, driver dot find element XPath dot click. Okay, so let's try out. Okay, so how does it click it? So what happens is, like, this is the dynamic table, right? So when once this is the second column, B1, but we want to click on first column. So what we do is the XPath would be same. Only the thing is this column would change. So if I click on this copy XPath, so here we saw that it is tr6 tr, okay, so Williamson. You see that tr6 is tr6 but td1. So what we'll do is we will capture the before XPath would be same, in this case this would be same, okay, and index we are already in the for loop, so that particular iteration 6 will be captured here, and this we will append with the bracket, this would append, okay. So we are appending this. So once we append this, this gets solved, okay. So this is how we do it. Now what we are doing here, we're doing driver dot find element by dot XPath before XPath plus I would be same index, because they both are in the same index 6. This would also be in the 6th index, right? So here we are moving to this column, so we are saying okay plus I plus td1. Why td1? Because this one we can see that this part is a td1. So we are sorted now, td1, and this is the XPath, okay, plus td1, and then dot click. Why it would click this go to this element and click it. So let's see if it works. So we're running this. We see that this got clicked, okay, and it will close now because I've used driver.close at the last. I think this was disabled, okay, this is disabled, so hence it did not get disabled. This we will keep disabled, okay, for now. So this is how we do it, okay. So if we want to print it, right, print also, see we printed this name, so it was basically getting all the text and printing it out here. So we see that the list is starts from Eri, Satao and Bruno Nash. Eri, Satao, Bruno Nash, okay. So if list goes on and on, we can print more, but the thing is that we are fetching this, okay, we're creating the XPath from before XPath, after XPath, then we are iterating the XPath because these things are changing. We are changing these XPaths, and in the for loop, if the XPath equals the XPath of this, in which the text of the XPath equals this, then what would happen is we would go to that element and then move to the first column and then click it. So this is what we are doing here. Now there is another method. So this is second method which we discuss, a single line code. So what we do here is we go to this element, okay, and we know that this is a TD, okay, TD, and this is the text. So we use contains method here. So here straight we use TD, and then we use contains function, and then in contains we use text, comma, and then we use this, okay. So we can see that this got selected. Now we want to move to this element. So how do we do it? So there is a thing called preceding sibling. So how do we actually do it? So this is the element, right? Which element do we want to move to? This one. See, from this one to this one. So this is the first TD. This is the TD, okay? This one is Williamson and this is the TD, the preceding TD of this. This is the next TD. Or maybe the okay. So this is the preceding actually. In this one we have this. This is the parent of all these. All these parents is this, and this is what integration this and this is the preceding of this, because see, this is all in one line. So preceding of this, okay, and that, got it. So this is what we are doing. So if you want to go to preceding, so what you have to do is preceding, okay, and then two columns. Note that here I have used two slashes, and then what we do, t t. So we can see that it went to the, this is what, 31. Okay, sorry, sibling sibling. Yeah, so we got one element. What is the element? This, we copy this, and so it is highlighting this one. So what we do is we just driver dot find element by dot xpath and then dot click. This is all we have to do. So if we wanted to go to parent in this, so we could have gone to parent as well using this parent, okay. And then if we want to go to tr, so this is the parent of this is the whole thing, right? This is the whole thing, this is the whole thing. So using tr you can highlight the whole thing, got it? So if you want to go to another thing, you can do that. So this is the code for dynamic web table, how to drive dynamic web table and how to handle things. So we can use this. That's it for this video.